Young and the Restless spoilers Saturday's weekly September 28, 2024. The sun was setting over Genoa City as Sharon Newman pulled into her driveway, her hands trembling on the steering wheel. The weight of her actions bore heavily upon her shoulders. She had just disposed of Heather's body, casting it into the murky depths of the river, hoping that the currents would carry away her darkest secret. The gravity of what she'd done pressed on her chest, making it hard to breathe. As she entered her home, the familiar surroundings offered little comfort. Mariah, Faith, and Nick were gathered in the living room, their conversations halting as Sharon appeared in the doorway. Her eyes were red-rimmed, her face pale. Sensing that something was terribly wrong, Nick approached her cautiously. "Sharon, what's going on?" he asked gently. Sharon's gaze met his, tears welling up. "I have to tell you all something," she whispered, her voice barely audible. I killed Heather." A stunned silence enveloped the room. Mariah and Faith stared at their mother in disbelief, while Nick took a step back, his face a mixture of shock and horror. "What are you talking about?" Mariah finally managed to say. "This isn't funny, Mom." Sharon shook her head vigorously. "I'm not joking. I did it. I killed her." Faith began to sob, the reality of her mother's confession hitting her like a tidal wave. "How could you?" she cried. "Lucy's mother is dead because of you." Nick ran a hand through his hair, trying to process the confession. "Sharon, you need to explain what happened. We can get you help, but you have to tell us everything." Sharon collapsed onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. "I didn't mean for it to happen. I was scared. Cameron was manipulating me, controlling me. He provoked me into attacking Heather." "Cameron?" Nick exclaimed. "He's been out of your life for years. How could he be involved?" "He's been in my head," Sharon insisted, tapping her temple. "I thought I was free of him, but he came back. He pushed me to do it. I wasn't in control." Mariah exchanged a worried glance with Faith. "Mom, Cameron isn't here. This sounds like it's all in your mind." "I know how it sounds." Sharon snapped, then softened her tone. "But you have to believe me. I didn't want to hurt her. I just lost control." Nick knelt beside her. "Sharon, we need to go to the police. You have to turn yourself in." Panic flashed across her face. "No. I can't go to prison. I can't leave you girls. Please, help me figure this out." Faith stood up abruptly. "If we don't report this, we'll be accomplices. We could all go to jail for covering up a crime." Tears streamed down Sharon's face. "I'm so sorry. I didn't know what else to do." The room was thick with tension. Each of them grappled with the impossible situation. Protecting Sharon meant breaking the law, but turning her in felt like a betrayal. Meanwhile, across town, Daniel Romolotti sat at his kitchen table, his phone buzzing with an incoming message. It was from Heather's number. Relief washed over him, perhaps she was okay after all. "Daniel, I've returned to Portugal. I won't be coming back. Please take care of Lucy." His brow furrowed. This didn't make sense. Heather loved Lucy more than anything, she wouldn't just leave without saying goodbye in person. Something was off. He dialed her number, but it went straight to voicemail. "Mom?" Lucy's small voice interrupted his thoughts as she entered the room. "Is that Mom?" Daniel forced a smile. She's away for a bit, sweetheart." Lucy looked up at him with concerned eyes. "Why didn't she tell me?" "I don't know, but I'll find out," Daniel assured her, giving her a hug. As Lucy left the room, Daniel's unease grew. He decided it was time to start investigating. Picking up his keys, he headed out, determined to uncover the truth. At Crimson Lights, Phyllis Summers sipped her coffee, noticing her son's distressed demeanor as he hurried past the cafe. "Daniel?" she called out. He stopped, turning to face her. Hey, Mom. What's going on? You look like you've seen a ghost. He hesitated before confiding, "It's Heather. She sent me a strange message saying she's gone back to Portugal and isn't coming back." Phyllis raised an eyebrow. "That doesn't sound like her." "Exactly. I'm worried something's happened." She placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Let's not jump to conclusions. Maybe she just needed some time away." Daniel shook his head. "I don't buy it. I need to find out what's really going on." "All right," Phyllis agreed. "But promise me you'll stay calm and think this through logically." "I will," he nodded. "Thanks, Mom." After parting ways with Daniel, Phyllis headed to her office at Jabot. Pushing open the door, she was surprised to find Billy Abbott sitting alone in the dimly lit room, his head resting in his hands. "Billy," she said softly. "Everything okay?"
"You're set to lose everything if Tucker comes back," Victor tells Nate, his eyes gleaming with strategic intent. "But together, we can prevent that." Victor's manipulation is as cunning as ever. He exploits Nate's vulnerabilities, tapping into his fear of losing Audra. By proposing an alliance to defeat Tucker, Victor not only strengthens his own position but also gains a powerful ally in Nate. Nate, torn between his love for Audra and his distrust of Victor, finds himself at a crossroads. Aligning with Victor could secure his future with Audra, but at what cost? Victor's reputation for using people as pawns in his corporate games is well known, and Nate is wary of becoming just another piece in his grand design. The unseen connections. As these parallel storylines unfold, the interconnectedness of Genoa City's residents becomes increasingly apparent. Cameron's manipulation of Sharon not only destroys her life but also sends ripples throughout the community. Victor's machinations threaten to upend relationships and alliances, as he leverages personal pain for corporate gain. Audra, unaware of the schemes surrounding her, faces her own dilemma. Tucker's return forces her to confront unresolved feelings and commitments. Her impending decision will have far-reaching consequences for both Nate and Tucker, as well as the delicate balance of power within the Newman Empire. A town on the brink. Genoa City stands on the precipice of chaos. Sharon's arrest has left the community in shock, her friends and family struggling to reconcile the woman they love with the actions she's accused of committing. Cameron's shadow looms large, his influence a toxic force that continues to poison those around him. Victor's strategic plotting adds another layer of tension, as his plans threaten to ignite conflicts on both personal and professional fronts. His ability to manipulate situations to his advantage has always been his greatest strength, but this time the stakes are higher than ever. The road ahead. As Sharon awaits trial, questions abound. Will the truth about Cameron's manipulation come to light? Can Sharon's innocence be proven, or is she doomed to pay for crimes orchestrated by someone else? Her mental state hangs by a thread, and without intervention, she may be lost forever. Nate must decide where his loyalties lie. Will he succumb to Victor's enticing offer and betray his own principles, or will he find another way to protect what matters most to him? Audra's choice between Tucker and Nate will not only define her future, but could also alter the power dynamics within Genoa City. Her actions may either play into Victor's hands or thwart his plans entirely. Conclusion. The intricate tapestry of deceit, manipulation, and moral dilemmas in The Young and the Restless has never been more compelling. As characters navigate the treacherous waters of their intertwined lives,